Starting next year, you may see a little more money in your paycheck. That's because the IRS just released the inflation adjustment for income tax brackets for 2025, and the standard deduction was also bumped up just a little. And this could be meaningful for some of you. So first, let me make this very clear. This is for the 2025 taxable year. You will file that tax return in 2026. But these changes I'm talking about will take effect in January and then could show up as lower tax withholding from your paycheck, meaning possibly a little more take-home pay. Now, every year, the IRS adjusts the amount of income tax you pay based on inflation. And because inflation has started to cool off in 2024, the IRS has, yes, adjusted the brackets to your benefit, but not as much as they have in the last few years. Now, this annual adjustment to the brackets is done to prevent what's called bracket creep. The government adjusts the income thresholds in the tax brackets to account for your annual cost of living pay increases at your job, because without those adjustments to the brackets, you may get pushed into a higher tax category, even though your standard of living hasn't changed. Does that make sense? So let me tell you about these changes and start with the 2025 tax year changes to the standard deduction, because I think you're probably going to notice that the most. For single taxpayers and married folks who file separately, the standard deduction got a $400 increase to $15,000 for tax year 2025. For married couples filing jointly, the standard deduction bumped up by $800 to $30,000, and for heads of household, the standard deduction increased by $600 to $22,500. Now, there is no limitation on itemized deductions for tax year 2025. But it's also important to understand all of the tax brackets for all taxpayers, including single, married, and for heads of household, have also shifted. Here is a chart I put together based on the new brackets for 2025, and you can see there where your income will fall in that taxable year. This chart is for heads of household, single taxpayers, and taxpayers filing married jointly. So if you want me to email the documents from the IRS out to you tonight, and I can send you last year's tax brackets so you can compare the two and see where you fall, I'm going to do that tonight in my News Girl News Roundup email, so make sure you sign yourself up.